Looks like we are live, and we appreciate you guys joining us. I'm going to step around the camera, and today we are talking with Eddie. I know some folks call you Edward, but your friends call you Eddie, and right? Yeah.
Right.
And those who are out there, you guys are laughing too, because if you're friends, and many of us are connected here in the Ohio kind of film community, you guys know that this is a big release for you and the team that you've been working with for quite some time. And that is Melon Heads.
Yep.
House of Crow.
Yep.
Right? But we appreciate you guys joining. We're going to give it just a couple minutes for folks to sign on. We've got a great giveaway, which we'll talk about for sharing. But in the meantime, a week and a half ago, we interviewed... actually, we had 2 interviews in the same week. The Jim Miller Band, which was doing a Grateful Dead Beatles rendition and it was a great interview. And then we interviewed that same week Isla, and Isla is a dynamic figure model. She poses. And she poses for drawing groups and painting groups. She does long poses, short poses. And after our interview, she went down and she's been to Florida, posing for artists, from around the world. But Isla gave away a generous signed book of her figure poses. And if you shared that interview a week and a half ago, your name is in this hat. And so, Eddie, if you grab one of those, you're choosing the big winner.
Okay.
And the winner is Craig Peters. Craig, thank you for... I'm going to bring this out over here. Thank you for sharing, and we will connect with you and get that book over to you. And again, thank you, Isla, for that book. But for the rest of us, thank you for joining us. As if we're going to date stamp today, it is February 13th, 2024. Tomorrow's Valentine's Day. And you've got a movie release coming up, and it's kind of a special day. What day is your release coming up?
Leap Day.
Leap Day, which is February 29th, right?
Yeah. I did it on purpose.
That's a great one.
Kind of weird,
Yeah. A little bit of mistake behind it.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
So if you are anywhere near Northeast Ohio and you want to attend that premiere, it's on February 29th, 2024, and it's at the Atlas Cinema, Atlas Lakeshore.
Yep.
Lakeshore 7.
Yep.
We will post those. Somebody will post it right here in the comments, just the event link, so folks can see those directions. But it's been 2 years since we sat down and did a long-form interview. And at that point, you had just, I think you were releasing, is it American Poltergeist, The Curse of Lilith Ratchet, or what was going on at that
there
point?
was really nothing at that point.
Okay.
You were kind of in between.
Because that was kind of post-COVID, and we were all just kind of in flux.
Right.
Give us a quick overview.
We were gearing up for this one, Sluagh.
Sluagh, that's
right.
right.
That's what we were gearing up for, actually. The Sluagh. That was released, was it 22? 23. No, 22.
I think it was 22.
Yeah, the fall of 22.
Yeah.
And then we did it again in the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one. So we were gearing up for this, and then, of course, Melons was in the works.
And behind the scenes...
You're right.
That was that started, were you filming 2 years ago?
We started in 21, the fall of 21. And we finished in December of 21. I ended up in the hospital with COVID.
Oh, no.
So it got
pushed to the side.
Because we had to finish this when I got out.
Yep.
This got finished. And then we started to edit this again in 22, the fall of 22, into the winter. And then I got a call from California. Jeff Miller wanted me to do the Werewolf movie. So it got pushed again.
Got pushed again.
Because we had to get on that. He wanted it done like in six months.
Yeah.
Shot, edited, and in the can in 6 months. So we had to push poor little Melon to the side again.
Yeah. So if you want to catch up on the long form interview, and we go back to early days, just search, just search in the Tuesday at 7 search bar, put Eddie Lengyel, and you'll see that long form interview. But we're going to go a little bit shorter today because we're going to kind of hone in on Melon Heads, right?
Yeah.
But before we do that, let's talk about that giveaway.
Yeah, let's do it.
Right? And so at the very bottom of your screen, there's a share button. And when you press that share button, it will guide you through the process. Essentially, it's really easy. Press the share button and say, who do you want to share to? You can share it to a group, and there's a bunch of filmmakers groups. There are artist groups. You can share it to a group. You can share it to your personal friends list, or you could share it to a group of individuals. You can say, I want John and Sam and Susie and Barb to see this, and you can send it to them. But when you share, we know it. And if you share, your name will be put in the drawing, and next week we'll draw that name, and you're giving away a
Melon Head T-shirt.
Melon Head T-shirt.
Yeah.
They're not even off the press yet, or are they?
They're starting to.
They're starting to.
Yeah.
So, Melon Heads T-shirt. If you happen to join us at the premiere, that T-shirt will be waiting for you.
Yep.
We'll have your name and your size there. If you're not able to make that premiere, we'll go ahead and get your order and send it to you. So that's generous, and it's great because when Melon Head hits big, right? People say, "I had a T-shirt from the premiere."
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So thank you for that giveaway.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Tell us about. You said that the project started, it got pushed to the side. It started, got pushed to the side. Tell us the process of this movie, from writing to maybe even the inspiration behind, the folklore, whatever the birth of that movie. Take us to the start of that idea.
Well, ever since I was a kid in high school, we graduated at the same time.
Yeah.
You knew the legend, right?
Yeah.
At least in Solon, they always talked about the pumpkin heads, the melon heads, So me and my friends would try to go to find them, and of course we never did.
Never did.
We never did. But it's always just been an interest, because you just want to know, did they really exist?
Yeah.
Or is it just urban folklore,
Well, I imagine that probably without exception, if people were going around the United States, probably from even different countries, right? There's probably folklore or, some of that goes, and if you guys have heard of the Melon Heads, right, and you're from Northeast Ohio, put a yes in the comments, or if you have, if you come from an area that has its own folklore or it's, it's scare stories, share that as well. Melon Heads.
Well, it stems from here up to New York or Connecticut.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I had no idea it went that far.
Yeah, Michigan has their own kind of legend. New York does, and Connecticut, yeah.
Wow.
It's pretty crazy. How big
So that's the inspiration. Did it scare you as a kid? Was that, or did you like, listen, I just search for it?
Yeah, I don't know if it scared me. It just really intrigued me,
Yeah.
Just to see one of those things would be amazing,
Yeah.
right?
So the origin of the movie was, local, not even local, right? Regional folklore. Regional to the United States.
Yeah. Right, yeah, more or less.
From idea, who wrote that? Was that did you write that alone? Like, was that written through it as a team?
No, just me.
Just you?
Yeah.
You write the script. You think of it, you write the script, and then, how do you get from script to February 29th, release of a movie? And I know that's a long story, right? But there are folks that are filmmakers that just go, listen, we work in the horror, or 21 Days of Horror. We do a short film fest, we do the short suite. We can do these short ones, but we have no idea the roadmap and the complexity of a full-length feature. And so that's kind of what I'm looking for is...
Yeah. Well, first of all, I couldn't have done it without Victoria Barton. So, Vic, if you're listening, you and your husband, I love you guys. Thank you so much. You did so much to make this happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, her and her husband were just amazing. Vic and I worked together day and night. 3-hour conversations when this woman had to get up and go to work the next day. She's trying to find me locations,
Gotcha.
Because it was really hard. It was hard to cast. It was hard to cast to find the right people, for each part. And then it was hard getting locations. It wasn't easy. It was difficult. It was difficult.
And if you're a filmmaker, you can probably relate. And if you're not a filmmaker, I don't think locations. I mean, I do now. But before, I was like, I never thought location. And that's not an easy thing to do, right?
We needed a school. We needed a college. That's not easy. Luckily, Tyler and Keith, they got us to school. Thank you, guys. You're listening. Yeah, so we got a school. And then Vic got us an old high school in Grafton.
Okay.
There's an old abandoned high school out there.
Oh, nice.
I think they do actually haunts there.
Okay.
Like tours and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was creepy. I guess it's really haunted. I think it is.
You think it is?
Yeah, I really do.
Did you guys shoot there for a good deal of time?
We did.
Were you out there for weeks?
No, relatively short.
Okay.
I think 2 or 3 days.
2 or 3 days.
And it was real dusty. And it was hard on the lungs. It was hard.
Yeah,
it was tough.
yeah.
But it was worth it. When you'll see the film, it's so creepy. You know?
Location, casting. How does casting work?
Vic.
so Vic,
Victoria, she casted it for me. You know, we did it together, but she was behind it, you know. Telling me, Eddie, I think you should use this person. I think you should do that. You know, she really influenced.
Yeah.
And of course, we brought Rob Yeager. He's like, he's in every Fright Tech film pretty much.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
He was in Hell Week. He was in Ratchet, and he was in Melons. You know, so and George Tootie. He's been in a few Fright Tech films as well.
So I know that there's a bunch of filmmakers, and some of these questions seem, pretty elementary, but there's a lot of folks that don't do films. So in addition to the cast, in addition to the locations, you've got the writer, you've got, a producer, you've got kind of this management team. There's a whole another line of folks that are part of that.
Mick Kuntz. I couldn't have did it without Mick.
Okay.
Mick was my camera guy. Mick was our sound guy. Mick was our special effects guy, and Mick was the editor.
Gotcha.
Yeah, this guy is does the work of 5 men. Yeah, Mick, love your brother. Thank you so much. Really, we couldn't have did it without Mick.
And what I didn't know was whether those were 4 or 5 people playing those roles, or whether you had somebody with multi-layered talents that were playing several.
It was a skeleton crew, Raj. It was a skeleton. It was me and Mick. Me and then Brandon. I forgot Brandon. I'm so sorry. I forgot Brandon. Brandon Jester was our second camera guy.
Gotcha.
Who killed it. He killed it with that gimbal. He was great with that,
Yeah.
So he was there. But yeah, it was me, Mick, and Brandon. Yeah, that was it. No sound guy, no lighter. Mick did the lights, and Brandon. They worked together.
So I have a question, and you could answer no, and I would completely respect no, and that is, if the Melon Heads were folklore, and everybody was talking about the appearances or hope to see, are we going to see Melon Heads in this film?
Oh yeah.
So, and I would imagine that is going to be effects heavy.
Yes.
At times, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's something there that's going to shock people.
So you're going to be shocked
At the end, they're not going to expect.
You're not going to expect.
Mick Kuntz did it.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
So thank you for answering that question,
Yeah.
and that piques my interest because I love effects, right? I like to do special effects, and I like to act now and then, but to know that it's heavy with effects,
Yeah.
and to know that there's some twists and turns, some surprises, is has me all kind of.
I think we reached out to you. Actually, you were the first guy we reached out to.
Yeah.
To do it, but you were gone overseas or somewhere.
Yep. You're right. I was out of the country at that point.
Yeah. Yep. So.
Well, we are excited.
Yeah.
To see the release of this film. Knowing you from just kind of keep an eye on things, I know that as soon as something's going, that you're spinning several plates. Are there some other things, or do you get a little break after this? And
no, I'm actually writing another script. It's called The Vespucci Murders.
Oh,
it's a gangster film.
So
first time non-horror. It was going to be horror. It was going to be called The Yule Monster.
Yeah,
and it was going to be gangsters and monsters. But then we kind of realized, not sure how much it would cost to make that monster. I really wanted, big budget.
Yeah.
Didn't really have the money for it.
Yeah.
So we're like, maybe we'll just put that on hold, and we'll just do a straight up Sopranos kind of thing. Yeah. There's some darkness to it.
So you're writing that now?
Yeah, it's written. It's going through rewrites right now.
Okay.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna be working with Larry DiBartola.
Oh yeah.
Edward Cornett, Doc. We call him Doc. Yeah, Debbie Scaletta, her husband Ronnie. Yeah, Don Kilrain, my partner, will be involved. Yeah, a lot of great actors.
When
in that one.
And when I hear those names, most of those are local folks, local to Northeast Ohio, right? Mm-hmm. Tell us about the Northeast Ohio film circle. I mean, it's rich with talent.
It is.
There's a lot of filmmakers here.
There are.
And I don't know whether that's unusual. I mean, if it feels heavy, or listen, if you go to Pittsburgh or to Detroit or to Columbus, if they have the same community, I would expect not.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's a lot of people.
There are.
That are doing it here.
There are.
I hope you guys know or could throw that in and go, no, Pittsburgh has a really thriving, or, if there's other...
I heard Pittsburgh is.
Pittsburgh, I would imagine that they probably have a good community as well.
Mm-hmm.
But most of the folks that are with Melon Heads are Northeast Ohio. Do you have anybody from out of town that's kind of jumping in on that? Acting or anything else?
No, but for the Bite movie, The Werewolf, Caden Bryce and her mom came down.
Okay.
From Michigan.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, yeah, they came in from out of town.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So if you guys are watching, we are talking about the release of the Melon Heads House of Crow. Tell us about House of Crow. I mean, because that's included in your title. Mm-hmm. Or do we have to watch the movie to find out?
I can tell you. If you want me to.
Yeah.
Well, because it's Dr. Crow goes along with the legend, right?
Yeah.
So the Melon Heads title is just like, it's kind of just to say Melon Heads.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, what is that? It's almost comedic, right?
Yeah.
Kind of, so we wanted to add something to it. We came up, well, it's Dr. Crow's house. That's where everything takes place.
Yeah.
So we add that little House of Crow underneath it. So it's not so just Melon Heads. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's more original, too.
Yeah.
Because there's a couple, if you go online, there's a couple Melon Head movies out there.
Gotcha.
Shorts and stuff. We wanted to kind of differentiate ourselves from them.
Yeah.
So
if you guys share this video, there's a share button on the bottom of your screen. If you hit that share button, we know it. And when you share it to a group or to your friend list or to an individual, we're going to put your name in a drawing. And if you are there at the premiere on February 29th, which is leap day of leap year, if you're there at the release, there'll be a t-shirt waiting for you, a Melon Heads t-shirt. And if you're not there, we will get your information and send that t-shirt to you. But we're excited to see that.
No, Bruno Tavalik.
Yeah.
Is that you say his last name, Bruno?
Yeah.
He is Dr. Crow.
Oh.
Yes. And it was a long search trying to find the right doctor. And he came along, and we actually sent his audition out to ITN Distribution. They were helping us, and they said, this is the guy.
This is the guy for it.
This is the guy. And Bruno I just can't say enough about Bruno.
Yeah.
He speaks fluent Ukraine or Russian. So he actually speaks Russian in the movie. So he'll be subtitled.
Oh.
So there'll be subtitles at times when he speaks in Russian.
That adds a whole cool complex, like a cool vibe to it.
It is. And then I was watching Stranger Things as a and I'm like, wait a minute, Stranger Things has the whole Russian angle.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, Alicia Spurlock's like, Eddie, did you write Stranger Things? I'm like, why? She goes, the whole Russian thing, It's just a coincidence.
Oh,
it was just a weird coincidence. It really was.
Well, that adds to the depth of the movie, and I think we'll probably have a number of people that go, that's kind of cool.
It is.
It has subtitles. Some people don't like them. I love them. Not necessarily a full movie of subtitles,
right?
But it takes us someplace else.
It does.
It's taking you to a foreign land.
Yes.
Right when you go into a different language.
Yes.
And I'm excited to see how you do that in film.
Yeah, it's good he talks in American, though, at times, so it's not totally whenever he talks, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's just certain times he does it. It's really cool.
From an FX guy, an FX question, how long would it take to get a Melon Head from sit and chair to camera ready?
Boy, God bless Danny Click. He was our effects guy. I don't know. He was in that room for
hours.
Oh, yeah.
Hours.
Like, I'd come in, Dan, we need so-and-so, okay? He had 3 heads. We were working on 3 different heads, because we always used to just him by himself.
Yeah.
Man. And it was long. It was long.
Yeah.
But he made the head so we would take them off the actors at the end of the shoot, and then Danny would bring them back.
And then reapply them next time.
Yeah, but then it was this part, the prosthetics, that was the time consuming.
Yeah.
Keith Migra has his beard like you, and Danny's trying to
work around it.
It was a nightmare. It was a nightmare, the beard. Yeah.
It adds complexity for sure.
Yeah.
So for those folks who are watching, there's not anybody behind or in front of behind the camera right now taking a look at questions, but we encourage you to put those questions in, because both Eddie and I will grab it and answer those. We'll be putting in some links so you can go right to the event. Check it out. Again, it's February 29th in just a few weeks. We're giving away, as you heard, but if you're joining right now, you have the opportunity to win a Melon Heads t-shirt. Tell us, as we're kind of wrapping up, tell us some advice for folks that are interested in getting into filmmaking. From any area, whether it's acting or whatever. You're like, just get a newbie who's watching this and just go, on my bucket list is to be in a short film or something. Like, where do I even start? You've been doing this for quite some time.
19 years.
19 years.
Yeah.
And so, how do we go and borrow from your sage advice? Somebody who wants to start from the beginning, what would you suggest that they do?
As far as like writing, directing, producing, or just
so, if you got an actor or a writer or somebody says, I just want to help with sound, or I'm really interested in camera and lighting, like what would you say?
Yeah, it's funny. Someone else asked this, and it's funny if you go back to my first film, Hell Week.
Yeah.
I wrote the script. I didn't really know how to type all that well, so my buddy came over. I bought him a 6-pack. He could type, so he would sit there and type, and I would tell him what to type. That's how
you made some time.
That's how primitive it was. It was just like he was typing, and I was just thinking up things, and he would be typing it.
Yeah.
Right? So we did the script, and it actually came out fairly well for the first time, And I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
I didn't. I had no idea what I was doing. I had this idea, I had this script, and I had people that, bought into it,
Yeah.
They bought into it.
Yeah.
They wanted to be part of. And I tell people, like, what I had, but it was passion.
Yeah.
I desire.
Yeah.
I might have not had the talent or the know-how.
Right.
But I had this undying resolve, you know what I mean? Like, just to do it. And I knew what I wanted. I knew how I wanted it to look. And, like, fake it till you make it, maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just that passion,
Yeah.
Roger. If you have, Paul's a good example. Our friend.
Yeah, Paul Tylicki.
Yeah. I mean,
He's passionate.
Passion. I don't know anyone more passionate about Halloween than Paul.
Yeah.
Now, he's got the talent, too. But I'm just
Right.
saying, but he's got that passion, and it comes through in the hunt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why I tell people, if you have a passion, don't be scared because it seems so big. It is a big task.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you have that passion and the desire, just go for it.
Go for it. Find somebody, find a team, and just do it, right?
Yeah, it's like selling your idea, and make them know that you know your idea more than anybody. That's the thing. Because I knew that script more than anybody. And I heard Tarantino talk about that. One thing he had over Harvey Keitel and Michael Metz is he was like, I might have been new at this, but I knew my material more than anybody else.
Yeah, for sure.
And they believed in him. Because, like, this guy really knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Even though he was new at it. That's the key. It's just selling people on what your passion desire is.
And I know those folks that are watching here feel the same thing that I'm feeling, and that is, I can feel your passion. I can feel your personality. You're excited about what you do, and that's something that I think a lot of folks miss in their lives, is really having the passion for what they do. But I love the fact that you're like, listen, I mean, you're not going to know all the answers. Just have passion and move forward. And find that team. We are going to push whatever promo is happening between now and the 29th. Let's talk it, and as we kind of close up, at the last couple questions. I know folks have questions there too, and we'll get to those later. After the 29th, right? And so after this thing shows in the big screen, right? And there's and what I would say too is if you show up to that event, not only do you get to see an Ohio movie, you're going to be surrounded by other creative artists, filmmakers as well. And so if you guys are curious, that would be a great time just to come and introduce yourself to a few folks around. Mm-hmm. But after the 29th, after this film shows on leap day of leap year, what is your hope for the film to go from there?
Oh, man. That's funny because we want to do like a small theater run.
Okay.
That's the dream.
That's the hope.
That's the next, because we've been on Netflix. Hell Week that was 10 years ago. It was much easier.
Yeah.
Now it's virtually impossible at this level. You know what I mean?
Right.
But, we've done the Amazon Prime, we've done Family Video, we've done the Walmarts, we've done all that. Our next goal is small theater.
Small theater, right?
Yeah, 15, 20 theaters across the country.
Yeah.
That's really the goal.
Yeah.
Now, whether we'll get there...
How can we help you? How can we help how can we help as a community get you to that goal?
I know Gappy over at Gabby. I always get Gappy and
Gabby again.
But Gabby is the owner of the Atlas Theaters.
Yeah.
He said if we sell this one out, then we'll go to Mentor.
Okay.
Great Lakes Mall.
Gotcha.
They have a theater out there.
Yeah.
And that's close to Kirtland Mentor. I mean, it wasn't Mentor, but it's close to Kirtland Chardon, and that's where that a lot of that urban myth stems from.
Is, yeah.
So they're big for it out there. They're crazy for it out there.
Yeah.
So we'd like to take it from Euclid and then take it to Mentor, and maybe if we sell that one out,
and then go somewhere else.
So then we could say to distribution, "Hey guys, look, we've built 400 seats here, 200 here, 300 there. This thing is catching on."
Yeah. Yeah.
So it might behoove you to grab this film and maybe do a small theater run across the country.
Yeah.
That's the goal, and it's a big one.
Yeah, it is. We appreciate you sharing your story. We're excited about the release of Melon Heads, House of Crow, and what I urge you to do too is, your best support for us at this point is to just share that video, right? Because we want as many people to see this video, because we have a lot of local folklore, filmmakers, people who is this a horror? Is this a horror? Like what?
It was supposed to be. It's leaning more sci-fi.
More sci-fi.
It is. It has a real sci-fi Stranger Things feel.
Yeah.
It does.
So if you're into, let's say, feels like kind of horror but has a sci-fi vibe to it,
right?
Then we would appreciate you guys sharing this out to your friends list and then joining us for the release. You're going to be there. Mm-hmm. The actor's going to be there.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. And we are doing, I'm not sure if it's 50 or 100, like the first 50, 100 people that come through, they will get a free, it's just like a little coaster, but it's got the melon head on it. I wish I had them to show people. I should have brought them. Or what's that koozie thing?
Oh, the koozie, over to that.
Yeah, nice. So you're either going to get a free, coaster or a koozie.
Coaster or koozie.
Yeah. And then they're going to do a special, it's called the Melon Head, and it's like a large popcorn and a large drink, and you get a free Melon Head sticker.
Love it.
It's just some fun stuff to give away.
It's going to be really great.
People love free stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you, Eddie, for joining us today. Last minute, right? I mean, fortunately, this just kind of fell into place for us.
Yeah.
And thank you to the team that shot. We're excited to witness this along with you. Again, if you're watching, please share, and then please join us the night of the release. And we're going to go ahead, because I know that probably between now and then you're going to have some other opportunities. We're going to push the advertisements and anything else that might be going out there. So keep an eye in the Tuesday at 7 Facebook group, and we'll go ahead and keep you guys apprised. And thanks. We'll see you there. Anything that I missed?
I just want to thank my team again. Vic and her husband, Rob Yeager, George Tootie, Amanda Collins, Alicia Spurlock, Danny Click, Mick Coots, Brendan Jester. They just all made it happen.
Yeah.
I just can't say enough about them.
Yeah.
It's a great job.
Sounds like a dream team.
Yeah.
Well, guys, thanks again. When you share, we'll give away that T-shirt next week. And thanks for joining us here on Tuesday at 7.